The next question that we do have is giving us a route map. Okay, so it's a route map. Let's read the information that we have been given about this particular route map. So it says to us, a group of tourists drove from Johannesburg. So we have it there. They drove from Johannesburg to Madikwe Game Reserve. So you see that with maps and scales, you can get any type of map. So they're driving from Johannesburg to Madikwe Game Reserve and plan to enter the game reserve at the Abjaterskoop gate. Okay, so we've got all that information. Below is a map indicating the routes. So we've got the routes, the cities or towns, the distances in kilometers. It's important for you to know that distances are in kilometers so that you can know what exactly we are working with the numbers. Let's look at these routes that we are given. If we look at the routes that we are given, we've got 88 over there, we've got 32. So those are the routes in between those 2 points over there. I'm making it a bit messy, but I will just get rid of it so that we do have a nice clean page. But basically the number represents from that point to that point, going down that route over there would be 71.9 Magaliesburg or whatever the case is. And then we've got a nice key again. Remember I said to you, your maps always have a nice key. R stands for regional roads, N stands for national roads. So know those type of things that you are given over there. The first question says to us, okay, concerning this map, give the general direction. Look at that again. General direction. We were asked for the general direction in the previous one, and even in the one that Claudia gave us as well, we were asked for the general direction. So it means already you need to know general directions when it comes to maps and scales. It says to us, give the general direction of the Madikwe Game Reserve from Johannesburg, meaning that you have to start in Johannesburg and then look for the game reserve from there onwards. Let's look for Johannesburg over here. So we've got Johannesburg over there, and then we've got the game reserve happening over there. So the general direction would be going in that particular direction, meaning it would be northwest. Let's go and just write that down. So one, the general direction would be northwest. Some people would say NW. That's also okay. Don't be too lazy in terms of that. And the next question now says to us, state what the broken line represents on the map. Let's go and look for the broken line so we can see what exactly it is that they are speaking about. And did you see they didn't give us a key of the broken line? So it means that it's something that we have to go and figure out by ourselves. So I see a broken line over there. That's the broken line all the way going there. So if you look at that broken line, it separates South Africa from Botswana. So for me, automatically, it makes it the border. So I would say it indicates the border. Okay, so look at those type of questions. So 4.1.3 says to us, name the shortest route. I really love such questions because they make us think. It's not a question that is like easy and straightforward. And it's out of 3 marks and it's worth the 3 marks. So it says to us, name the shortest route. And whenever you're asked to name the shortest route, it simply means there's a longer route, okay? So there's probably an alternative route, another route. So what we need to do is find the shortest route, and it says to us that could be used to drive from Johannesburg to Abjaterskoop gate. Don't care too much about the pronunciation. So let's go and look for the shortest route between those 2 sections. So we need to find the shortest route. I am going to just erase what's happening over here so that we don't have too much of a problem. So it's from Johannesburg, and we are looking for this gate over here. So we can see already there are two alternative, actually two alternative routes. And I'm going to show you the two alternative routes. The first route would be going like that. That's the first route. And then the second route would still be going via the N14, but this time going along that way. So we want the shortest route between the two. I think it would be this route. I think it would be this route, but I need to go and prove that in fact it is that route. And if I am using that route, let's see what the calculation would look like. If I am using that particular route, the first thing I do is I'd add my 70 kilometers plus 71.9 plus 35.2 plus 88.1. So now the trick, there's a little trick, and the trick here is that we have not been given this over here. We don't have that. We haven't been given that particular route over there. So it means that in all of our calculations, we're going to skip this particular one because they all have it, okay? All of them are going past that route, but we're going to skip that particular number. And then we're going to say plus 88.1. Stunning. So we've got that. Let's go. It won't make a big difference. It won't make a difference actually, okay? It's not going to make a difference in terms of that. So let's go and see what exactly to do. So it says to us there, 70 plus 71.9 plus 35.2. Let's just delete that. 35.2 plus 88.1. And that's going to give us a little fraction. You press your change over there, change again, and then it gives you a decimal. 265.2. 265.2 is the first route. So I haven't determined which one is the shortest, okay? Now let's go to the second route, and the second route would then be 70 again, plus 61.4, plus 62.4, plus 88.1, because somewhere along the way, they start meeting again. So that would then be 70, and then my 70 then plus 61.4 plus 62.4 plus 88.1, which is the last one. 281, and then it gives me that fraction. So I press change there and change again, and it gives me 281.9. 281.9. That's the second route, okay? Meaning, it means that my conclusion was correct from the onset. But did you see how I went and I first calculated it before I made my final conclusion? With my eyes, I could see that's going to be the shortest route, but I didn't want to make that conclusion without doing my actual calculation. You have these calculations, and basically they are going to give you the best way possible. Have I answered my question? I have not answered my question because it said to me which route is going to be the best. So now I can go and say the route that is best in terms of what I'm going to use. So let's look at the best route, because I did say that it would be that blue route over there. So it would be, you can say via the N14 past Magaliesburg, past Koster, and then obviously after that it's going to all join there at Swartruggens. Okay, don't be obsessed. Like I said to you, don't be too obsessed in terms of pronunciation. Going via Maba to Zirast and then going straight into that gate. So that's what they're asking of you. So answer it exactly like that. I'm not going to write it down because I've already said it to you. The next question says to us, calculate the distance, okay? Calculate the distance between Zirast and Swartruggens if the total route distance from Rustenburg to Ab Jachterskop gate is 221.2 kilometers. So what do we know? We know that the total distance is 221. I'm going to write that down. So I know that my total distance is equals to 221.2 kilometers. I know that's my distance. So if I go up, they say that that is my distance. Let's just get rid of all of that. They say to me that is my distance between Zirast and Swartruggens. So it says we need to find this distance. Remember I said to you, we don't have this distance via the N4. We don't have that distance. So now we are asked to calculate that distance. But what we are given is that between Rustenburg, it says to us between Rustenburg and the gate over here is 221. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 221 and I'm going to subtract this route and this route, which will then give me the unknown. I'm moving from known to unknown. Let's go and do that basic calculation. Therefore, 221.2 kilometers, subtract, the first thing that I am going to subtract is 62.4 kilometers. And then the second one, as I said, is going to be 88.1 kilometers. Let's go and calculate that. So 221.2 minus 62.4 minus 88.1. That gives us 70 and then a fraction. We don't want that fraction happening over there unless we were told that our answer should be as a fraction. Change. 70.7 kilometers. So we know now that the distance between those two is 70 kilometers. Do you see how I am patient with myself? You do have about 1.2 minutes for each mark. So don't say, I don't have enough time. If it's too hard, go to the next one. You'll come back later to get all your marks. The last question in terms of this particular map says to us, determine the shortest route again. Now we're looking for the shortest route again. Determine the shortest route distance from Johannesburg to Swartruggens, and then says to us that we need to show all the calculations. So you see those little calculations that I showed up there? We're going to show those calculations all over again, okay? And this time, they're actually interested in the calculation, not in the specific words in terms of the shortest route. So it says to us, determine the shortest route, and then we need to show all the calculations. Let's look on the map what exactly they are looking for. So it's between Johannesburg. Again, I want to just get rid of all of that's happening on my page there. And it says to me, the shortest route distance from Johannesburg, so there's your Johannesburg over there, to Swartruggens. So Swartruggens is over here. And we want the shortest distance. And again, I've seen the first route is going there. They wouldn't ask you to calculate if there weren't two routes. It wouldn't make sense. The second route is going through that 70 again, but this time going that way. So I've used two different colors so that you can see what exactly is happening there. What am I going to do? Calculations all over again, easy peasy. So if I go and I do my calculations, that's number 5. I can see that first option, I'm going to say 70. They have 70 in common. I'm going to do the Magaliesburg one first, plus 71.9 plus 35.2. Okay, that's the first one that I am going to do. And then my second one is going to be 70 plus 61.4 plus 62.4. So I've got all of that I can now start calculating. Let's go and see what it's going to give us in our calculator. Don't be scared to use your calculator, guys. Bring a calculator. Use your calculator in class. I find that some learners only use a calculator during exam time and then they start panicking. Familiarize yourself with your calculator. Change. My favorite function, 177.1 kilometers. So we know we've got 177.1 kilometers. That is the first route. So it means we need to compare it with the second route. So if I go to my second route, it's going to be 70 plus 61.4 plus 62.4. Okay, just making super sure that I am doing the right thing over there. That is going to give me 193. I don't want that fraction. Change. 193.8. 193.8 kilometers. So I've got the two to now compare with each other. So the first one is 177.1. I can go and write that down so that I have an idea of what I'm doing. And I said the first one that I am going to be using is going to be which route? I said the first one I'm going to use is going to be via Magaliesburg. So it's going to be 100. Let's just use a darker color for that. 177.1. And then the other one is going to be 190 something. Let's go see what it is. 193.8. So this route could look, the blue route, it looks like it could be the shorter route because it doesn't have that nice big number over there. But it's actually not the best route for you to use. So whenever you are asked for a question like this, the best thing that you can do when you are asked for a question like this is to calculate the two. Don't just use your eyes, like I said, and say this is going to be the best route. Always look at the two routes. Yes, my heart can tell me it's going to be this, but let me go and clarify this. Am I done? No, I need to give my conclusion. So my conclusion is, therefore, the route via Magalies, I'm going to write that as Magalies, is the shortest route. So a question like that would be considered a higher order question, and the reason why it's considered a higher order question is because you are first doing your calculations, and then from your calculations you are then drawing some sort of conclusion. So don't be scared in terms of such questions. That is an entire 3 marks that you have with you. So that was the last question, and a bit of a tip that I do want to give you guys in terms of maps and scales. Always go and look for the most common questions, because you can get any type of question. Read the map carefully, because you do not want to end up making a blunder in terms of that. Always use a ruler. Go into wherever with the ruler, look at most of the questions. You won't come across every type of question, but you can do your best by basically going through as many question papers. And you can see one of the most common questions there was your common direction, or the type of direction that you are supposed to be taking in terms of that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much again to Liberty for sponsoring our show. Thank you to you guys for tuning in and coming through and just sitting with us throughout this entire hour. I will be seeing you guys next week. From me, Lebogang. Thank you very much.